There's no place like home. There's no place like home. Hey, hey, hey. I'm back. Okay, there was really no good reason for doing that whole little intro except for the fact I realized when I was putting my makeup on I look like Dorothy today for some unexplained, unplanned reason. But whatever. Anyway, I'm really sorry for my really late video last week. I had it for over a week and I just couldn't get it up and going. I had a little bit, okay, my computer completely crashed. It's still being worked on. And then I had kind of a bit of a scare. Those of you who have been watching me for a while, you no doubt have heard that I have a knee with some problems. Well, I was out shopping the other evening. It was Saturday evening, I believe, because the ads were just about to change and I wanted to get some groceries before the sales went off. So I went out Saturday evening to do some shopping. By the time I got out of the first place, my knee was really barking. I had to go to a second place to get some headache medicine I needed. When I got home, I threw everything away. Not everything. I threw everything together, put everything away, refrigerator, pantry, doing all that kind of stuff. By the time I got done with that, I just wanted to sit down and relax, get my knee some rest, and just let it feel better. Went back there to my bed, had a hot drink in my hand and a thermos, nice thermos. I love my thermoses. I'm all tongue-tied today. Plopped down on the bed with one leg kind of pulled up underneath me. Went to pull the other leg underneath me to sit with my legs crossed, and just this intense pain in my leg. I did not know what the pain was. I jumped like crazy fast jumped. It was such an intense pain. And I looked down and I didn't know what I was seeing. Like my leg looked wrong and I didn't know what I was seeing. So I breathed, first of all, because I was in pain, and I looked, and there was a mechanical pencil on my bed. I did not see it, and I had impaled my leg with the mechanical pencil. The sharp point went right into my leg. It gashed, it gave me a good sized gash on my leg, and it went pretty deep. And as I looked on my leg to see what on earth had happened, because it just looked strange, I'd never seen anything like it, and I just kind of, I don't know, just kind of put my finger on the skin around it and just kind of pressed on it slightly. Yeah, my, the insides of my leg were kind of coming out. Sorry, if you have squeamish problems, that probably didn't help you, but yeah, the inside of my leg was literally kind of trying to ooze out. So it was not a good thing. It was kind of freaky. Fear not, though. It has been seen to and cleaned and pulled together, and not good. It was, I'm sure I went out into the hallway as soon as it happened so that I could get to the bathroom, because I was like, if I can get to the bathroom, if I drip blood, at least I can wash it. And I happened to see my mom, and I said, Mom, I'm hurt. I need you to come help me. I'm sure she had this thought of, oh sure, come on, I'm sure you're exaggerating. Well, as soon as she saw what I was talking about, she was like, oh, yeah, you are hurt. Okay, this isn't good. So, anyway, I'm gonna be fine. I had a little bit of a concern a day or two ago that I was getting an infection, but it didn't end up going there. I treated it with some antibacterial stuff, some antibiotic stuff, and it seems to be healing up really good now, so I think I dodged a bullet. If it had been any more serious than that, wouldn't have been good news. But anyway, yeah, I'm doing fine. It's still a little bit tender. I still have to be careful when I sleep. So the first night with it was, I had a really hard time sleeping that first night because I didn't know what to do with my leg. I couldn't rest my other leg on it, and I couldn't rest it on the bed. It was awkward. So, and I'm not a back sleeper. So anyway, it's fine. Everything's good. It's all good. Anyway, I'm glad to be back. I have been trying to get caught up on FlossTube videos. I am so far behind. I'm behind on comments. I'm behind on liking and letting people know I like something they're doing. I'm just so far behind, and I feel terrible about that. I'm gonna try to get caught up. Why do I sound funny right now? Now I should sound normal. Okay. I have been hearing some interesting stuff, that people want to see WIP parades and things like that, and I thought I would kind of oblige to a point. I don't have that many WIPs, kind of like it's pathetic, but I do have a couple, so I will share those, and I'll just kind of make it a little more grand than it really is, make it sound grander than it is. I'll try. Okay, but first, I have a finish. I'm going to try to, I had a board that I could hold up behind it. Oh well, I forgot it. But I finished my Little House Needlework, Singing the Blues. It's all done, because I placed my 1, 2, 3 stitch order. I couldn't wait. And I only needed like 1 strand of the thread. It was so silly. It was like the 2 top lines of the letters, but it only took like 4 strands of thread, 4 individual strands of thread to do it. So I had to buy a whole new skein for like 1/6 of the skein. No, not even that much. But anyway, I used nothing that was recommended. I used Needle Point Silks, the white for the border, and I used Threadworks Cloudy Skies for the blue color, and then I used DMC's Variation 4210 for the heart and the cherries, and it's very cute, and it was a very quick stitch. I'm glad I was able to go ahead and finish it this quickly, because I wasn't going to place a 1, 2, 3 stitch order. But one of my brothers gave me a little bit of cash, so I was able to put it towards a little bit of stitchy stuff, and that made me feel a lot better about placing an order. I went ahead and got the Persephone pattern, because Persephone has been sitting in a bag weeping silently because it wants to be finished, and I wasn't wanting to buy the pattern again, but I went ahead and did it because I just need to get that WIP finished. And if you don't recall, this is where I was, and I have not stitched any more on it yet. I'm still at the same exact spot because I haven't actually done anything with it yet. But this is where I am with my Persephone by Mirabilia, and it's my own variation, my own color correction, so to speak, on the trim. This is a, what is this fabric? I think this is a, sorry, I think it's like a Silky Rossello, but for some reason it's escaping me if it is exactly that or not. But that's one of my WIPs. Okay, this is part of the WIP parade. Happy me. I really want to get her done. Now I have the pattern again. Very nice. Now, my current WIPs that I have been working on, and I showed you in the last video, I do have an update on this one. This is the Soda Little Mermaid. And since I did the video before, I have, let's see if I can do this. I have added in this purple border, part of the purple border, and this little lobster in the corner, or crab. He's a crab. I should know crabs now. He's a crab. And then down here is this dapper little prince. Now the interesting thing about Soda projects is I love stitching them, and they really come to life with the outlining, as you can see on the prince here, and the crab. They don't do any fractional stitches. They only do complete square stitches. So the perfectionist in me is constantly correcting little stitches that are outside of the outlining, for instance. Sometimes it's a quarter stitch outside of the outline, sometimes it's 3/4 outside of the outlining. I'm constantly correcting it. So a normal project like this would normally take someone probably maybe 2/3 the time that it takes me, because I am just correcting it because I want it to be a little more perfect. But I'm really happy with this so far. I think it's really adorable. And I did decide to outline the border, and I'm just going to wait to outline the main picture in the center. I will wait till the last to do that. Again, that's Soda's The Little Mermaid, and I'm stitching this one on a plain white opal, and I think I'm stitching it on 25 count. And I'm doing that because I started stitching, I've done the Anne of Green Gables one before on the 25 count, and I happen to have like a large half-yard piece of the 25 count. I just decided to do the Sodas on that particular count because I had a nice sized piece of it, and I thought if they fit and they were the same size, it would kind of go together better. So there's that. And I did get a little bit more work in on my HAED this last week. I decided I just needed to start seeing some more progress on this. So this is where I am now on my HAED, and I wish I had my board behind me. Let me see if I can get my board. If I forgot it, if I have it back here somewhere. No. Just a moment. No, I don't have it. Let me see if I can put this behind it really quickly. It's going to look a little crummy, but, well, maybe it will help. Okay, so what I have done since I showed you before is I've put in this pinky tone around in here, and then it goes into a gray, and then it's going into these taupey tones. I like that it's finally now starting to lighten up. The color is finally starting to get lighter. And for those of you who don't know what this is Innocence by Nini Thomas. I will insert a picture. I think it's coming along very, very nice. It's not showing up as pretty in the camera as it is in real life. It's really looking very watercolory, and it's blending really nicely together. I'm very happy with it. I'm gonna try to stitch as much of this as I can before I move my my frame. I think as soon as I fill in this little square here, I will be done with my first page. And I am stitching this on 22 count Aida. The holes are slightly bigger, but I can actually do pin stitch with this. It's slightly challenging, but I can actually do pin stitch. And because of that, you can see, look at the back of my project is much cleaner than, say, all the long strings and catching them all down below, like when you park and then you catch it all in there. If you don't want to, how do I say that? You don't want to tie off a whole ton and get a whole lot of knotting on your back. You can leave your strands all hanging, and then as you continue to work, it's weaving in those threads, and you can just snip them. I prefer to do the pin stitch, because on the 22 count I can do it, on the 18 count I could not. So, and I'm talking the 18 count. I'm sorry, scrap everything I just said. I'm doing this on 18 count Aida. I couldn't do the pin stitch on the 22 count. Okay, whatever. I'm doing this on the 18 count Aida, and it's actually great. I started it on a 22 count 1/1, and it was too thick. Scrap that too. Okay, I was trying it between the 1/1 and the 2/1. It was way too thick doing the 2/1 on the 22 count. The 1/1 was not quite enough coverage. So I'm doing 2/1 on the 18 count Aida, and I'm really happy with it. Did I completely confuse you guys, like, out of your brains? I am sorry. If you listen to it very closely again, you may catch what I meant. Okay, so those are my two current WIPs, and then my Persephone, which is going to come back into my rotation very soon. I did have one more WIP that I was going to add to my WIP parade, and this one you've not seen, because I was so frustrated with it that I didn't show it to you, but I'm going to show it to you now. So this is Autumn Fairy by PASSIONE RICAMO. And this is stitched on, oh sheesh, the color is not right at all. It's way less purple than that, and it's more of a berry pinky tone. This is on Silk Weaver's Brandywine. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous color of fabric. I love the different tones of the goes from some mauvey tones and purple tones to like almost an orangey tone. It's a very unique color blend. It's very pretty. Now I will tell you why I'm frustrated with this and why this one kind of got into my UFO bin, so to speak. When I bought the supplies for this, it told me I needed to get one card of Rainbow Gallery for the wings. One card. And I started stitching it, and like I've told you before, I don't waste thread. I'm a very, I stitch as efficiently as possible to use the least amount of thread possible. I got down to, let's see. Let me see if I can see it, because it's totally obvious to me. Not in this light, perhaps. Okay, I got down to about here in this second wing, and I had to order another card of the I believe it's number 01. I believe it's PB01. I had to order another card of it. I ordered from the same place, but it was a few months apart, and when I got the new card I was thrilled. I can get back to working on this. Well, I started stitching on it, and I immediately saw that the second card was not the same tone of color. It has got a lot of green in it, and the other one is very blue. So, and I can totally see it. I can totally see it. Can you guys see it, or is it just me? I can totally see it. It's like in these last how many rows is that? It's like these last 5 or 6 rows here. They're like green. They're turning a green color. Whereas all of this is a pretty bluey tone. I can't stitch that. I couldn't keep going. I was really frustrated with that. So I finally decided I needed to order another one again and see if I could get one closer to the blue. Tried it again. The second one that I tried again was also more green. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to end up taking all of this wing out and just stitching this whole wing with a whole nother card, because I'm not going to rip this whole wing out as well. That would be way too much ripping and redoing. So I'm going to leave this one pretty blue, and this wing is just going to have a touch of a different hue to it. And as long as it's the whole wing that has a little bit of a different hue, I think it will be fine. But yeah, that really frustrated me. It's 7 rows that is definitely more green. But anyway, she's gonna be gorgeous. I love this fabric, and I'm stitching her skin 1/1, as I usually do. I really like to do my skin 1/1, and I hope that will work out, because I do not want to rip this much work out and have to do it all over again, because it's also in these other parts down here as well, that same chronic, which means I would have to rip it out of like 4 different areas, and I'm just not wanting to do that. So I wish they would get it correct. And the only thing I can see is if I'm working on 28 count and it's meant for 32 count, that one card should do it. But I don't think that would even work, because that's quite a lot missing. So I think that's maybe an error on the side of the pattern information, that there should be 2 cards on the supply list needs. Alright, like I said, I did end up going and placing that 1, 2, 3 stitch order, and I'm going to show you what else I got. So I got the extra thread I needed for my Singin' the Blues, and I got the Persephone pattern. And then what did I get? I got, the reason why I got this, I'll show you in a second, is I had been looking at this for several months, and every time I put it in my cart, within a day or 2 of putting it in the cart, it sold out. So this has happened like 3 times, and so finally I put it in the cart and it was in stock, and so I grabbed it. I had to have this one. This is the Jim Shore Snowy Owl Snowman. He is so stinking cute. Love his colors. I love snowmen. I love the owl. He's got the purple and the pink and the turquoise. And I did not realize until after I went ahead and ordered this, which I'm so glad I have him. Entire kit, by the way. Look at all the beads. That's a ton of beads. That's like 3 full packs of beads there, people. Sure looks like it. A lot of thread. I did not realize until after I ordered it. I guess I was kind of curious. I went on eBay to see what price I could have paid for it, and I could have paid twice as much as I paid, and I'm glad I didn't do that. I found out Jim Shore has an adorable little figurine that is of this exact figure, and I want to get it because it is so cute, and they would make such a cute little vignette to have the ornament and the figurine. So cute. So I'm going to keep an eye out for that. I would really love to have the matching figurine. I'm not much into country designs, but some of Jim Shore's things are really cute. There is an angel that has a bunch of cats in her skirt, and she's holding a cat. She's adorable. I want to stitch that one someday. So yeah, Jim Shore has some really cute things. And then I'll show you what else I got, because I did get one other thing that I'm kind of chomping at the bit over. Just a little bit. I have been eyeing this pattern for, oh goodness, about a year. And it was on sale. And I had to have it. This is the Ink Circles Blue Morpho. I love this pattern. I love this pattern. I love the colors of it. I love the pattern. I love that it's butterflies. I love that it looks like it's like scroll work, wrought iron type thing. It's got some flowers in it. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. And I went ahead and got the thread for it, because my goodness, I had to have the thread for it. So it called for 4 skeins of, I think it's Piney Woods, gassed Piney Woods. and it called for one skein of Tropical Ocean, and my favorite, one skein of Island Blue. How pretty is that? I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And I went through my fabric within the last week, and I found a piece of fabric that will work for it, that will work perfectly for it. So that's that. The pattern, and the threads. Great. I'm so excited. This is a project that's ready to go. That's all it needs. It doesn't need beads. It doesn't need Krennic and blending filaments and all that stuff. It's just completely ready to go, and I'm so excited. I was going to say one other thing, and I've completely forgotten what I was going to say. Oh yes, that's what I was going to say. I feel a little dumb because ever since I started the videos, most of what I stitched on before was all on hand-dyed fabrics, right? HandDyedDiva, hand-dyed fabrics. Ever since I've started doing videos, every single project I have been working on has been on a plain piece of fabric, either a plain linen or a plain even weave. This isn't typical of me. I think the problem is I do have a stash of hand-dyed fabrics, but most of them I've already dedicated to like beautiful Mirabilias and Passion RICAMOs and Joan Elliott's. I don't want to pull those out from their designated patterns and projects to reassign them. So I'm realizing that some of these, there's just like a simple beauty to just having it be on a simple piece of fabric, and some projects don't need that busyness behind them. So I'm taking advantage of the fact also that this one is very, very busy in and of itself, and I'm just going to be stitching this on a cream Lugana. If I could find like a, I mean, I was considering also maybe what is it called? Silvery moon, like a silvery moon, like a light gray, I was considering. But I think it'll look really good on just a plain fabric because it's so busy. And you're not going to see much background unless I frame it with a huge border. So yeah, I think simple is best with that project, and I'm really excited about it. I'm just eager to get going on it. I was also going to show you one non-123 stitch purchase that I got. This was one little purchase I made this last week. I got this cute little mug. Lovely afternoons are made of cafe au lait and French macaroons. This was so cute. I loved the stain. And it was on clearance for 70 cents. I couldn't say no to that. Marshalls sometimes has some great clearance deals. I didn't expect it, and I liked it, and then I looked on the bottom and saw it was on clearance, and I was like, I'm getting that. I was going to mention a couple different things real quickly. There was something fun, well, kind of funny, kind of ironic with me. My last video, I already shared the fact that my niece arrived. It's been, what day is it? It's the 31st. It's been 2 weeks already. She's arrived, you know, over 2 weeks ago already. Before she was born, my brother and sister-in-law were trying to kind of keep the name under wraps. They were kind of keeping it a secret. They wanted the bigger reveals closer to the birth. And I saw my brother. My brother told me, oh, they came into the store and I talked to him, and well, our other niece, 5-year-old niece, she kind of blabbed the name, blurted it out, and they were a little bit upset about it. And he says, yeah, I know what they're naming her. It was, as hard as I tried, I could not get him to tell me what that name was because they asked him to keep it a secret, and if someone asks him to keep something a secret, he will do it no matter what. No matter how much I prodded and nothing. But my other brother and I went about the task, project, whatever you call it, of writing down our top 5 guesses for the baby's name. And my brother like wrote them all down really quickly. Like he didn't take much time. He just wrote them down and okay, here's the list. I took a little more time. I was not convinced. I wasn't really ready to just submit my top 5. Over the next 2 days, I kind of had just a few names just come to me and kind of just sit there and kind of keep mulling over them in my head. And I finally wrote down 2 on one list and 3 on another list. And I just kind of folded them up and forgot about them. Well, about a week and a half after that, my dad came home and said, "Oh, by the way, I visited them today. I was over at the house and I found out what they're gonna name the baby." And I was like, "Okay, what is it? What is it? Tell me. Tell me." And he told me the name, and I was literally like, jaw dropped. I was shocked. I told my sister-in-law in an email about a week before that, "By the way, I'm trying to write out my top 5 name guesses. I'm sure I won't get it, but you know, yada yada." The first name, I mentioned the first name was Evangeline. That was on my top 3 list. Evangeline. I had no idea. It's an unusual name for our family. We usually go for very classic, kind of, I guess you could call them normal names. I'm not familiar with the name Evangeline. It just came to me and I just wrote it down. I couldn't get it out of my head one day. And then I told my mom before, I didn't write this down, but I told my mom before, I said, "I just have this feeling they're going to name, her middle name is going to be Lily, because my first niece's middle name was Rose." I was like, "I just have this feeling they're going to name the middle name Lily." And wouldn't you know, they named her Evangeline Lily, one of the top 3 names I guessed, and the middle name that I knew they would name her, even though they hadn't said a word to me. So I just thought that was so funny. I was like ironic, and I was just like, if you captured me on tape, I would have probably looked like an idiot with my mouth hanging open like that, but funny. Okay, the other mention I was going to share is, in my last video, I said, "Oh, I'll show you my brother's video of the total eclipse. It was way cooler than mine." Well, I wanted to, and I asked him for it, so that I could share it, and it was kind of a no-go. He said, "Well, I'll post it somewhere online and you can post a link to it." He hasn't done it yet. I don't have a link. I can't give you the link until I have the link. And by the time I have the link, you guys might not even be interested. But I'm sorry, I kind of led you guys on. I thought for sure he'd be fine with me sharing it with you guys, because I'm sure none of you guys will ever know him. But no, he wants to show it himself. So I understand, but I'm a little bit disappointed in that. Okay, I'm gonna go on to my recommendation of the week. I only have one this week because last time I kind of did like a 2 or 3 for kind of a thing. I think. Yeah, I did like 3 or 4 recommendations last week. I've got one recommendation for you this week. Now, if any of you are a fan of Andrew Lloyd Webber's Phantom of the Opera, which I don't love everything about it, but I think some of the music is really great, and I think some of the story is very intriguing. If you've never seen this version of it, you need to see this version of it. This is the Royal Albert Hall. This one is awesome. I've seen multiple renditions of the Phantom of the Opera. This one is by far my favorite. I think the singing is superb, stupendous, fascinating, fantastic, all that kind of stuff. I got this for Christmas. I had it on my list, and my brother got it for me for Christmas. It's awesome. You can find it on Amazon. You used to be able to watch it on Netflix, but it's not there anymore. It's just really good. And so if you're a fan of that, I recommend this, because the talent of the people doing this It's just, it's beyond words. It's really, really great. Recommend that highly. That's my only recommendation. I wish I had more, but since my other video was only a couple days ago, I'm just gonna mull over some more before I post any more recommendations yet. I was going to do sorry, that sounds so stupid. I'm gonna give you a little bit of an itsy etsy peek. Actually, it was just earlier today. I've been doing so much stitching this last few days, prepping for this video, that I just decided to go ahead and make a couple new scissor fobs that I will be listing. If they're not up by the time this video posts, I will be surprised. They should be. But, okay, here is one, and this one is really beautiful. This one's all shades of purple, and it's got a really pretty bronze cross with a rose in the middle. This almost kind of reminds me of like a rosary. It's really pretty. It's very delicate looking. So you got all these different shades of purple and this large purple stone in the middle. It's very, very pretty. So there's that one. Following the same theme, here is a green one, the same rose, and it's different shades of green, and there's a green jade stone in there. And here's a green flower. It's like a resin flower. This one's very pretty. Oh, yes, and by the way, Stitcherista Danielle, shout out, I am wearing my first pair of Impress nails. I couldn't stop myself. You just kept showing them and I kept drooling and I succumbed. And they're great. I'm enjoying them. I love having nails, and I've been having a really hard time growing them long lately. This makes me feel pretty good. So thank you again, Danielle, for that recommendation. Here's another one of the fobs, and this one's got a little bit of a different charm. This one is brand new. I've never done one with this charm yet either. And this is a little hummingbird. And I'm sorry, I'm kind of not looking at the camera. I'm looking at what I'm showing because I don't want to show something stupid. This is a hummingbird charm, and it's got some shades of gold. And these are really pretty, like frosted gold beads. And this little one right here, this is awesome. Can you see that? Look at all the detail in that big middle bead. I just thought the colors were so awesome in that. It's very rich. And then here is this one. And I'm sorry for those of you who don't care. I hope I'm not annoying you too terribly much. Here is another one of the same hummingbird charm. And I'm just going to hold them up like this. Maybe that's the best. And you've got the different blue beads. And these are black jade beads. And then right in here, can you see this? It's got black and blue and turquoise in it, and it's got veins in it. Really cool veining. I thought that one was really pretty. But this one's my favorite, and I made two of these because I kept one for myself. Here is the third option of the hummingbird. You got these pretty green beads here, and these cute little crackle beads in the purple. And look at these beads here. Look at these. These are amazing. They've got all kinds of shiny different colors in them. They almost look like crystal globes or crystal orbs or something. They're amazing. And this big large one has aurora borealis reflections on it that changes in the light. It's so pretty. I had to have one of that for myself. So pretty. Really like those a lot. I was going to mention one other thing before I stop because my video is getting a little longer than I planned. The number 15 has been coming up around me so much lately with the baby and with not exactly my birthday, but kind of, my birthday's been something too. But the total eclipse has happened, and I don't know, there's just been some big things that have happened recently, and then the number 15 keeps coming up. My grandmother's birthday would have been on September 9th, and she would have been turning 85, but she was 15 months shy of that. She didn't make it to 85, which is 15 years short of 100, right? And maybe I'm pushing that one, but the 15 number just keeps coming up in several areas of my life, not just those I've mentioned. So I wanted to let everyone know that I am offering a 15% discount on my Etsy shop with a code I am entering down below in the description. 15% off of any order, and this is going to be through the 15th of September, so 9/15/17. I don't know, the number just keeps coming up, so I'm just gonna do that. 15% off any order, my Etsy shop, through September 15th. I will enter the information down below. I wanted to thank you also, those of you who have made purchases and have left me such good reviews. I'm very, very happy that you guys have been pleased with your purchases and that you've been kind enough to leave me positive reviews. I really appreciate that. My fledgling company, I'm trying to build this little business up, and it really means a lot. So thank you so much for those words of confidence. And thank you guys for every single comment that you have left me on my FlossTube videos. You don't know how that bolsters me to continue going. There have been some days I've thought of just throwing in the towel, not keeping on going. Comments have been such an encouragement. They're an encouragement to every FlossTube videoer out there. And so I thank you. I really appreciate that. Continue to send your comments, your friends requests. What is this, Facebook? Your comments, your thumbs up, suggestions. If you have some recommendations or suggestions for me, feel free to post them. I am open to doing things better. If you guys could give me some suggestions on how I could improve my videos, I would so appreciate that. I'm always looking to improve. I would love to do like a little bit of a PSA type thing, just because I know how much it means to me, that just take a little bit of time today. If it's 15 minutes, if it's 5 minutes, just go to some of your favorite FlossTube people, even just a person, a random person that you're subscribed to in general. Just a random person. Just choose someone at random and just post them a little message, just letting them know that you're there, that you appreciate that they're actually taking the time to do videos. It really means a lot to everybody, and I'm not trying to be pushy. I'm trying to encourage people to do videos, if that makes sense. Anyway, thank you all for coming back again. Thank you for visiting me. I appreciate all of my subscribers, all of my viewers. I really, really do. Have a great summer. I know this next week is like going to be all in the hundreds for us in Oregon. I'm not looking forward to that. But fall is just around the corner, and I'm looking forward to that. I hope you guys are having a great week. You are enjoying your stitching. You're getting a lot done. Until I see you next time. Ciao for now.